Communications and Media, which is a telecom operator in Greece. In the 60 per Society project, we are leading task 4.3, which is related to the standardization aspect of the project. So we are leading the standardization procedures related to 60 per Society. So the KVI Ontology was created to operationalize the 60 for Society vision. So it is the thought that 60 technology does not currently incorporate in its discussions the integration of values, of value indicators, and we needed a more structured way of talking about those things. So this ontology basically addresses that gap. It is actually structure, a hierarchy, but also vocabulary, something that will guide researchers in their endeavors to talk more consistently about KPIs and incorporate them into their discussions about technology. So to present you, to give you a general overview of the structure, at the base, at the core, we have the key value. And the key value represents a societal priority or a family of societal priorities. This answers the question why we act, what is the main concept of it. Then we move down to the KPIs, the key value indicators, and those provide the measure. How do we measure progress towards its value? So KPIs can be qualitative or quantitative, and those provide different evidence levels of measurement. So, for example, if we're talking about digital inclusivity, a quantitative indicator would be digital accessibility, and a qualitative one would be user confidence in digital services, which is something that cannot be measured by hard evidence, but only by user questionnaires. Each KPI then should be linked to KPIs, so the performance targets, they can be in terms of security, they can be the latency, the coverage, the reliability of the system, the throughput, etc. Then we move on to the implementation layer of the ontology, and so this answers the question, what do we employ in order to achieve those values? And it contains things like the enablers or the practices, the technological enablers that can be linked to its value and that can be used to justify decisions based on that value, and practices that are nice to have or discussed in sustainability circles. The ontology also models requirements and capabilities, which are the components that the 60 system must deliver, what its requirements are to the general ecosystem. And it's nice to have an ad or a tag in the ontology to link this technological perspective to the value perspective. And going on the third layer that I call classifiers or remaining contextual concepts, then we need things like the vertical domain, how its KPI affects vertical, how the KPIs are classified based on stakeholder roles or other aspects of their and this gives an extra attribute or a tag to make this closer to practice, to make the ontology closer to its vision. So structurally, this gives us a core knowledge graph of 3 layers. The first layer is the strategic layer, which contains the entities of key values. It contains basically a value chain from a key value to a key value indicator to a KPI. Then we move on to the enabling layer, to the implementation layer, I should say, where we meet entities like practices, enablers, requirements, etc. And then we move on to the contextualization, the cross-cutting layer, which tells us how we contextualize its value, what aspects we should consider, what verticals we should influence, what stakeholders are affected by its KPI and by value in general. So this whole structure creates a traceability and comparability between values that did not exist before. It is essentially a tool that provides researchers with an opportunity to affect design choices, standardization. Makes the value creating process comparable, and it gives it a traceability so that it provides researchers of 60 with a tool that they can use to influence decision making, standardization, and design choices in the future. So for the creation of the KVI Ontology, we utilized the methodology, which is a mature framework for building ontologies and for building specifically network ontologies, and that means ontologies that align and they reuse ontological and non-ontological resources. From this methodology specifically, we utilize scenario 2. It is a 9-scenario methodology. You can choose and pick whichever serves your purpose. And the second scenario is called reusing and re-engineering non-ontological resources. And for this scenario, we specifically picked it because it fits the 61st Society vision and domain. So for the 60 research domain, in terms of deliverables and in terms of material in the ecosystem, it's a very rich domain. There are so many taxonomies. It's very rich in deliverables, in frameworks, in other material, but very formal ontologies. So we came to address that gap. It is also a good scenario to pick because it allows for multi-partner collaboration. It allows for a structure that can be further refined in the future when new information arrives. So more concretely, we utilized material from multiple external and internal sources, so KVI and KPI tables that were conducted by 61st Society partners, and also from external projects. I'm thinking taxonomies created from the HIXIX project, which was very useful in creating a taxonomy of enablers. And from those external materials, we extracted key terms, we extracted relationships, definitions, and we made a harmonization process so we could eliminate overlaps and naming conventions, and so we could make a concrete structure and a usable vocabulary. So the value that this methodology and structure provides for the SMS ecosystem is first of all a vocabulary, so that we can avoid inconsistencies and misunderstandings in terms and definitions. So the value that this methodology and the subsequent structure to the SMS ecosystem is threefold. It's first of all a common value vocabulary, so that we can avoid inconsistencies in definitions and in value chains. And secondly, it's a structural backbone, so that can be used to feed further tools and standardization deliverables, and it's also a traceability mechanism so that researchers and other stakeholders, like policymakers, regulators, industry partners, can use to add to the value ecosystem and to value chains. So I will summarize the key main achievements in three parts. The first one is the conceptual maturity and the technical maturity of what we have developed as the KVI Ontology. So we are not only delivering a knowledge graph, we are also delivering a vocabulary, we are also delivering a complete value chain for 5 values. Those are the values of trust, safety, building knowledge and skills, quality of life, and inclusivity. The structure allows for information to be retrieved and queried, so this means inferred and combined and queried over using formal queries. The second main achievement would be the recognition and uptake of this endeavor. So this process and this product, the KVI Ontology, has been presented in its discussions in a recent ETSI security conference. It has been discussed over multiple sessions of the pre-standardization working group with standardization experts, and we are also seeking endorsement from Sentinel-X Circle. The third main achievement would be the long-term sustainability of this endeavor. So we are in the process of creating a workshop agreement with SEN, so that we can include this procedure in standardization discussions for the foreseeable future. We are also using this product as a long-term legacy asset of the project that can be passed down to future next-in-line projects during the handover process. The ontology will also be remained accessible via as another repository for open reuse, so that next researchers can update and refine the definitions and mappings of further value chains using use cases from their respective projects. And it's an important step forward in the endeavor to prove that societal impact can be structured, can be standardized alongside the technical performance proactively.